what year did you actually move out to the States?
I came here in 1993.
Okay, so the band had been touring the States probably previously for a number of years.
Yeah, well, we came in 83 and 84. And then we came again, I think, in 86 or 7, something like that. But as I recall, it was always West Coast. I don't think we never did New York or any of those places, Midwest, East Coast until much later, I think. So yeah, I came in 83 and through the 80s. And
what were your thoughts when you first came to California?
Oh, we were well impressed because, we arrived at LAX and we got picked up in a limo that was sent to us by Golden Voice and all this kind of stuff. So we thought it was all pretty fancy stuff.
So when you first landed here,
yeah,
limo at LAX.
Yeah.
Okay.
Never had one since.
Right. but still, that's a
it left an impression.
Yeah, that's got to be a crazy first impression. Like, was that the first time you ever came to America? Was limo at LAX? Oh wow.
It's incredible. And again, just the noise, the smells, all of the senses. It just feels different, smells different, looks different. Even like the air is different.
Mm-hmm.
Just everything was alien to us, and because we'd started going to Europe in the early 80s, I think. But I'd never been before the band. I'd never been out of England, So
so every place you went, it was new. When you went there,
right? And it's some great experiences. But not to be down on the young people of today, but sometimes you're not even aware of what's going on. You don't stop and absorb what's around you. Maybe culturally, you're just there to party.
For many years. Yeah, that's where I was at.
Yeah.
I was too blacked out to notice what was going on.
Yeah.
So, but I just mostly toured the States. Like
right.
I haven't. Most of the world traveling I've done was by accident.
Got on the wrong plane, or
no? I got an acting gig, so I went to Spain.
Oh, tell us about that, Neil.
In American high schools, they show videos for the foreign language class, and they're usually like have a low production value. They're not real actors.
Right.
And so I got hired to be one of those not real actors and go to Spain and get paid a little bit of money and eat a bunch of ham. So I said, yeah. so I somewhere out there, I'm in a video where I'm speaking Spanish poorly.
Do you remember your lines?
El mando de la televisión is a remote control. I think that's one of the only ones I remember.
Well, what about the rest of your acting career then?
It doesn't exist.
That was it?
I mean, if you don't count like getting up on stage and acting like me on steroids or whatever, when you're up on stage, you're acting. Like that's the way I look at it. Like people are like, you said this, you said that. It's like, no, that isn't really me. This is kind of a amped up version
it's
of
a
me.
persona that you
exactly
adopt, I think. Yeah.
People get this impression of like who I am because in front of a microphone. It's like when behind that, I'm actually like kind of timid.
Yeah.
Very anxious. And I have like low self-esteem.
No, I understand that. I was never a confident, kind of socially kind of awkward and not able to, strike up a conversation. And that's where I kind of fell into alcohol, really, because it just helped me through that, social awkwardness. Going to the pub at 15 because it was easy to get served and, helping with self-confidence and stuff like that. And after a while, you seem to be drinking not because of any of that stuff, just because you have to, really. And then I think the drink, and same with any other addiction, it takes over and you just become a vessel for the drug.
How long have you been sober from alcohol?
It's about 6 years now.
Okay.
So it just got to the point where, I was married at the time and I'm not married now, which is a big, significant factor in, that situation. And, I was just a bit of a jerk, really. You just get to be self-absorbed and gets to be about you and the alcohol and nothing else, really.
Did it get to the point where you felt like you lost control?
I wasn't ever totally out of control, I don't think, but I knew that I would be if the things carried on much. I got to the point where, it's just, I don't know, just waking up and drinking vodka is not good,
No. Well, I remember what would happen with me is like I would black out, and then when I came to, I would still be drunk, but when the alcohol wore off, the anxiety would set in.
Yeah.
I would be so anxious that I'd have to drink more in order to get rid of the anxiety, and it was kind of a vicious cycle. I didn't drink every day, but I would drink for 4 or 5 days in a row, and having to stay drunk, and then when I finally stopped drinking, I would have like a really bad, super anxious day where I thought I like needed to go to the hospital. I was like 250 pounds. Did you do any like program or anything to stop?
No, I didn't go. Well, I went to a couple of meetings, but I thought that would, and it just wasn't for me. But what that was a catalyst, because I think when you finally get to the point where it's, I got to stop drinking, what am I going to do? I'm going to go to AA. Because that's what people do. So, okay, I'll go to AA. And it wasn't for me.
It's not for everybody.
But it got me on the steps to saying, okay, well, at least I'm doing something about it now. And then I just took care of it myself, really.
Hearing the stories of the other people in the meetings, that's what I really identified with. Not necessarily the way they deal with sobriety. Everyone kind of had a rock bottom, and everyone was kind of saying the same things that I had gone through. So I really identified with.
Right, but I could never get beyond that final step, really.
Yeah.
Whatever that was, step, giving it all up to God. Whatever your God may be, but there has to be some God, some great power.
The higher power thing. It's hard for a lot of people to get behind that.
Right.
My friend that was going, she said, well, my higher power is myself. Like she kind of twisted it, so it didn't make it about God. It made it be more internalized.
Well, they do say it doesn't have to be God in traditional sense. You make it whatever it is, but the majority of people will say, "Oh, and again, it's all in the book."
Yeah,
and it's like it's the Bible. I mean, it helps plenty of people. I mean, it keeps them out of the bars. So
Well, that's the thing.
In 6 meetings a day. But.
Yeah. Some people do a morning meeting and then have a night meeting. But that's the thing is like you were saying earlier about religion. It's like if it helps some people, I'm not gonna knock it.
You can't purport to be like open-minded and like a free thinker and an understanding individual if you're gonna be down on other people who think that they think the same.
I figure if just people are trying to do what they can do to have a happy life.
Well, fuck, it's not easy, is it?
No. Hey, do you like this video? Do you want to see more stuff like it? Well, consider being a patron of my Patreon page, patreon.com/Neil P. If you pledge monthly, you get some perks, you get some exclusive content, and you get to help stuff like this get made on the monthly. Yo, check it out.